In this lesson, we are going to look at multiplying polynomials. But before we do that, let's just review. What does 3 times 25 mean? We know the answer is 75, but why? Well, this is like saying 3 groups of 25. So we would have 3 different groups of 25 items, and if we were to add them all up, there would be 75 items altogether. So that's what it means when we are multiplying integers or numbers. It's how many groups of another number you have. So when we are looking at each product, we've got 3 times negative 2m plus 4. What does that mean? Well, what that means is that we've got 3 groups of negative 2m plus 4. So really, we would have negative 2m plus 4, negative 2m plus 4, and negative 2m plus 4. And if we were to add all of those up, we would have negative 6m plus 12. But there's got to be a more efficient strategy for doing that with polynomials. Because let's say it was 100 times negative 2m plus 4. You wouldn't want to have to write out minus 2m plus 4 100 times and then add them up. There's got to be a quicker way. And there is. It's called the distributive property. And what that tells us is that we take the value of 3 and we distribute it into the brackets and multiply to each term. So 3 times negative 2m. What we do in this case is we multiply the integer parts together. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. There is no variable to be multiplied to the m, so it stays an m. 3 times 4 is plus 12. So there's our answer. And as you can see, it was the same when we talked about what it means. 2 groups or 3 groups of negative 2m plus 4. So we have the idea, we know what it means, but we can do a more effective strategy by using the distributive property. So if we look at the second one, we want to use the distributive property. So negative 2 is going to get multiplied to each term. Negative 2 times negative n squared. Negative times negative is a positive. All we end up with is 2n squared. It's a 2 times 1, which is 2, and the n squared has no variable to multiply with, so it stays n squared. Negative 2 times positive 2n. Negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4, and we have our variable n. Negative 2 times negative 1 is just positive 2. And you have completed the multiplication